Capitalists eat until the world is blurry to them. These streets are made of saliva. There's some people made of saliva too. They usually have on uniforms. While a crazy man spins round and round trying to make a record out of this mass production jungle, maybe I'll join him. Count cash and cry. These streets are made of saliva, and white sheets are worn by a building in which kids are supposed to learn how to read well. White sheets on the highway too. Another mirror needs their head on a pike. One down is just one down. But you tell all this to the masses and your teacher will pipeline you. They told me I was jewelry. They told me this was jungle. Well, maybe not jungle, more like 50 machine guns planted in the ground. It's raining faces again in California. What does this say about heaven? And what does it say about the people you killed? Waiting lines got so exhausted, a million minds dropped all these faces at once. If the fascists can read the lips of a giant talking in his sleep, we might as well make our demands in prison letters. Today was born the most important trigger finger in the world. Today I've begun counting down the pages between now and a pile of books by a tunnel. Chicago is going to walk out of Chicago one day. Babies will drag street signs like old toys. Today, the most important letter left prison. Babies will laugh at flags like faces that have disappeared. Maybe I'll join them. But for now, these streets are made of saliva, and we raise half-full glasses to the basements that meant nothing. And the working poor who live there, we get shot. We get white sheets on California, where the kitchen table likes to talk as much as the walls, and romance on the porch consists of hard resigning. In this picture, characters talk spit and know that they're hard to kill. The kitchen table knows this. The porch is almost convinced that, one down is just one down. This town is coming to town. A circus watching itself. Half distracted, half suicidal, thrilled children dressed as cops. Thrilled children preaching and policing and intaking and hiring and snatching your money. This town's coming to town with tough trademarks to follow. Today I watched capitalism walk on water. And people play dead so that they could be part of a miracle. Guided by teeth goes this country. There's a cow's mouth on the flag. A peculiar notepad holds street life dear, but the writer's not here. He's somewhere talking to tombstones about the good old days or splashing reborn water on his latest face or wondering how his old gun is doing in the afterlife. Wondering how much death trap is in those gas station aisles. It got to be $1 million a day on this concrete island. New engine in the moon while it never goes down. 72 straight hours of night. At least according to everyone's posture around here. 8:30 in the morning is really 30 minutes to closing. The city shuts down for a sleepy rat race. Elevators shoe shuffle to the nearest heaven, laughing with rats the whole way up. There's scabs everywhere. In puddles of city, in concentrated schools, and TV-lit warm rooms. The light reveals military fatigue when it hits just right on the ties that are wrapped around the necks of lazy white guys. Empire is too easy, baby. Chant at the walls or something if you feel like it. Best way for a target to move is shooting back, running for a tree line made of freeways. Wisdom says against the war machine on Tuesday, you stand no chance, but may we be the last poor people to play it safe. Cow's mouth on a flag. A politician raises his hand and the crowd shows their teeth. An oligarch raises his hand and little girls are not safe outside. You all high, depressed, and comrades and function. At 15 minutes of closing, and the city has survived another black rebellion. We just paying dues by trash fires, not just anybody consent. Man, don't you love how deadly things whisper in a moment and people kill like feathers fall while everybody screaming inside? The writer knows that death is not a matter of dignity, rather humor. In a house that smells like roach races, nuclear percentages on torn stoves. Here life never was. It's just lazy matches and manic inhumanity, hands rushing away from life towards stoves. What we doing here? Surviving for no reason in particular, because nobody gone far today. Nobody go far tomorrow. Trust me, hell and heaven cannot count. Strange gardens where secondhand clothes play, and concrete wishes to be human so that it could be accountable. Where they find you drenched, and drains wish to be human, so that they could be worthy arms for you to die in. Hey, greet them all, grandson. Prepare for the day when every child is common. Don't say we ghosts didn't write you a poem. Don't say we didn't dig your life. Remember the shotgun by the coat rack that everybody in the house knows how to use. Remember the tightrope made of needles for walking in between driveways and man-made best friends. Go ahead, grandson. Tune the street again. Never mind this country kills musicians first. Broken neck nights, scarred neck life. If these walls could write lyrics, they say, what's your angle, Angel Eyes? 30, 50 rounds pass by on the street with no daughters. This street has no sons. It's young prisoners of war in a racist city that means to make capital, and we know so much. We know it all. We were stood against walls. Who's on the third cross around here? Cow's mouth, salivating over the street. And that is the story of why we aim at teeth.